Hello everyone, welcome back to another exercise video from Chapter 10 exercise series of our Managerial Accounting course, ACCT 428. In this video we're going to be looking at exercise 10-15A, which is going to be the last exercise that we have selected for this chapter. So let's read the question together. It says, Garrison Rentals can purchase a van that costs $54,000. It has an expected useful life of 3 years and no salvage value. Garrison uses straight line depreciation. Expected revenue is $36,000 per year. Assume that depreciation is the only expense associated with this investment. So what's required here? A, determine the payback period, which is going to be straightforward here. Payback period is going to be the cost of the initial investment, which is $54,000. Okay, divided by the expected revenue from the investment, which is $36,000. I got it from here. Okay. And then we run the numbers. 54,000 divided by 36,000. That's 1.5 years. So basically 1 year and 6 months is expected for or the duration that the company needs to recover their initial investment. All right. Now let's see what B wants. B says determine the unadjusted rate of return based on the average cost of the investment and compute the percentage rate to 1 decimal point. Now I'm going to remind you of the formula first for determining the unadjusted rate of return, which equals unadjusted rate of return equals the incremental increase in net income divided by the average costs of the investments. All right. So knowing this, we know, or we can see that we need to know the incremental increase in net income and the average cost of the investment. Now, the incremental increase in net income, we need to first see or consider the depreciation expense that is going to be incurred due to the acquisition of this equipment, right? So the depreciation expense is going to be the initial cost of the equipment divided by the useful life, which was given to us in the question to be 3 years right here, right? And there is no salvage value, so we're not going to subtract anything from the initial cost. So the depreciation expense based on that is going to be $54,000 divided by 3. Okay. So 54,000 divided by 3, that's $18,000 per year. All right, so that's going to be the depreciation expense. Now, we can, from that, calculate the incremental increase in net income. which we need to find the unadjusted rate of return. So the incremental increase in net income is going to equal the revenue minus, of course, the revenue that is going to be generated by this particular investment minus the depreciation expense that is going to be caused by the investments. Okay, so this investment is going to increase our revenue by $36,000 a year, but it's also going to cost us a depreciation expense of $18,000 a year. So the difference between those two is going to give us our incremental increase in net income, right? So $36,000 is the increase in the revenue generated by this investment, and $18,000 is the cost that is going to be deducted from our net income calculation each year, right? And 36,000 minus 18,000, that is 18,000. So that is going to be our incremental increase in net income, right? Now that we know this and we know the cost of the investment, okay, which is $54,000, we can go back to our original formula and substitute and find our unadjusted rate of return. Okay, so based on that, unadjusted rate of return is going to equal the incremental increase in net income, which is $18,000 as we have calculated, divided by the average cost of the equipment, and the cost of equipment is $54,000. We're going to take an average of that, so we're going to divide it by 2. So 54,000 divided by 2. Okay. Now we crunch the numbers in our calculators. 18,000 divided by, open a bracket, 54,000 divided by 2, close that bracket, and that's going to be 0.67 rounded, which equals, or actually I'm going to add more decimal places because we're going to transform it into a percentage, so that's going to equal 66.67%. All right. I hope that you found this video useful. This is how we approach any exercise similar to exercise 10-15A. And I really hope that you have enjoyed this exercise series. This is the last chapter we are covering in our course. If you have any comments that you want to add, any suggestions, any questions, please feel free to comment in the comment section. And until I see you in any coming exercise series, I hope that you have a wonderful time, and I wish you the best of luck in your course. Take care.